The GoPro Killer is coming May 15th, and it's called DJI OSMO Action. We're gonna talk about it in the video coming up. Hi everyone, I'm Brett Garamella with brettgaramella.com, and in this video we're gonna talk about all the information you need to know about this new action camera from DJI. So let's get right into it. So for weeks there's been a lot of speculation about an action camera, but recently these photos have been released. So where there's smoke in a lot of places, there's most likely fire. So I can confidently say that this action camera called the Osmo Action will be released on May 15th at 9 a.m. So let's talk about this Osmo Action, aka GoPro Killer. Now I love my GoPro, I'm not gonna say anything bad about GoPro, but usually DJI, when they come out with new technology, it kills whatever else is in the market. So DJI hasn't confirmed that it is an Osmo Action, but basically we know it's the Osmo Action now. So the information, the specs are that it's gonna have a 12 megapixel sensor, a Sony sensor, which is really nice, and it's gonna be 1/2.3 inches, much like the GoPro and the Osmo Pocket, but there's gonna be some nice features that the GoPro doesn't have. And I'm a camera guy, so we're gonna talk about the camera specs, and then we're gonna get into the other features of this new action camera. So in addition to being a Sony sensor, it's gonna be able to shoot at 1/8000th of a second all the way to 120 seconds. So that shutter speed is gonna allow you to freeze basically any movement, and also gonna be able to let you shoot with long exposure to do a lot of creative things, which I'll be showing you on this channel once I get it in my hand. So I'm really excited about that. And for those who like HDR, it's gonna have HDR and also do auto time lapse. Now let's talk about one of its best features that might separate it from other action cameras, and certainly something that the GoPro doesn't have: a screen on both sides. So you're gonna be able to have a selfie screen, unlike the GoPro, so you can film yourself vlogging, and this screen most likely on both sides will be touchscreen. Although I see a bunch of buttons. It looks like there's 4 buttons on this camera. It's definitely at least one, because I see a red dot there. So we're at least gonna have 1 button for the power record, but my guess is that it's 2 on top and then 2 on the side from what I see. Now both these screens look decent size, so you'll be able to see yourself, be able to vlog, or be able to, capture photos just like you would a normal action camera. And another nice feature is that the lens is nice and big. It's much bigger than the GoPro, certainly bigger than the Osmo Pocket, but like the GoPro, it protrudes out, so you're gonna be able to twist off that front filter and replace it. So with action cameras, often it gets scratched, or you do different things where it might be put in harm's way. So if you do scratch the lens, I like that DJI made it a replaceable filter. And that replacement might come with the unit. You might have to buy an extra one, but I'm just glad that we have this option. That's a huge, huge deal. Because with the Osmo Pocket, if you scratch your front lens, you'd have to use your insurance. And if you don't have your insurance, you're pretty much screwed. So having that replaceable front lens is very important. Now, if we look at that lens, it's nice and big, much bigger than the GoPro. We have a field of view of 145 degrees, so you'll be able to get much wider angle than the Osmo Pocket. And I assume they're gonna have multiple views. Now, what I'm really hoping for is that it's not a fisheye, that it's a wide angle, but it doesn't stop the fisheye. If it does that, then everyone's gonna be pumped up about this, because that's something that has always bothered people about the GoPros. You get that sort of distorted look. They have that linear look, but it's not quite as wide. So if we can get that wide angle lens and without any of that fisheye distortion, that'll be phenomenal. Now, from what I see in the leaked photos, it looks like there's gonna be a microphone on 2 sides of the unit, much like the Osmo Pocket. So you're gonna be able to get good audio. So I assume they wanna make it really good audio, because they're gonna wanna make this a vlogging camera as well. Now, those 2 buttons that I said were on top and on the side, one of them might be a port or a jack for audio. That's what I'm hoping. I'm assuming you can open that up and it has like a mic out. If it does that, that'll be phenomenal. In a small unit, I'm not sure exactly the engineering into that, but that might be a difficult thing, but that's what I'm hoping for. So now let's talk about stabilization. It is an action camera, so we're most likely gonna be able to see electronic stabilization, much like the GoPro. That might not work as well as the Osmo Pocket. However, it is DJI, so they may have some new technology, much like the GoPro's Hyper Smooth, that makes this really good. And that's what I assume they'll do. They'll come out with some technology, electronic stabilization, that will make this stabilization, really nice for action camera users. Now before we end this video, we have to talk about the price. Everyone's pumped up for the May 15th event, Unleash Your Other Side event, 9 a.m. Now one of the reasons I think this is going to be a GoPro killer is the fact that it's going to be priced between $350 to $400. We don't know for sure, DJI hasn't confirmed anything, but it's most likely going to be in that range of the Osmo Pocket GoPro, $350 to $400. I'm pumped up. Hope you're pumped up. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel so you can get more videos, tutorials that will help you with this new action camera. When it's released, I'm going to produce a lot of new tutorials. Unlike other YouTubers and filmmakers, I do live right near the water. I live in South Florida, and I'm also taking a trip to the Caribbean at the end of the month, so I'll be able to try out this camera and give you a lot of cool and creative tutorials that you won't find on any other channel. So please subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video.